Stop. Don't skip this because what I'm about to show you could literally change how you look at money forever. Right now, somewhere in your life, there's an extra $100, maybe 80 pounds. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people will spend it by the weekend and forget about it by next month. But a small group of people do something different. They take that same $100 and quietly turn it into 1,000 or more. No crypto hype, no risky bets, no get-rich-quick nonsense. Just one boring, simple decision that almost nobody makes early enough. And the difference between those two people, it's not intelligence, it's not income, it's not luck, it's just this. They started. Hey, welcome. Really glad you're here. If you're in the US or the UK and you've ever thought 100 pounds isn't enough to invest, or I'll start when I have more money, this video might completely change your mind. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to invest your first $100 or 100 pounds, step by step in the simplest way possible. No jargon, no overwhelm, just a clear path you can follow today. We're going to talk about where to put your money, how to make it grow, and the simple habits that can turn a small amount of money into something life-changing over time. Oh, and before we go any further, just a quick heads up. Everything I share today is just for learning. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't personal financial advice. Always talk to a professional before making big money decisions. Cool? Cool. Let's go. Let me tell you about two friends. Let's call them Jamie and Alex. They're both 25. They both have $100 to spare. Jamie thinks, it's only $100, what's the point? So they spend it on a weekend away. Alex thinks, let me just try this investing thing. So they put it into a simple investment account and leave it alone. Fast forward 30 years. Jamie's weekend away, long forgotten. Alex's $100, it's now worth over $1,000. No extra money added, no special knowledge, just time. Here's what happened. Alex's money was growing by about 8% every year on average. That's roughly what the US stock market, called the S&P 500, has done historically over the long run. The UK stock market has done a bit less, around 6 to 7% a year. But still, that's your money growing while you sleep. Now here's the bit that blows people's minds. Your money doesn't just grow, your growth grows too. Let me explain that in plain English. Say you invest $100, and after 1 year you've made $8. So now you have $108. Next year, that $8 is also earning 8%. So you're earning interest on your interest, year after year after year. It starts slow, but then it snowballs. There's a simple trick to see how fast your money doubles. Take the number 72 and divide it by your yearly return. So at 8%, your money doubles every 9 years. At 6%, every 12 years. I know $100 feels small. Trust me, I get it. But here's the thing. Starting with $100 isn't the point. Starting at all is the point. Because every year you wait, that's a year of snowballing you never get back. Okay, so you're in. You want to invest your $100 or 100 pounds. Amazing. But now comes the big question. Where does it actually go?
Let me walk you through the best options for a complete beginner. I promise to keep this super simple. Option 1, index funds. Think of this like a giant shopping basket of companies. Instead of buying one company's shares and hoping they do well, an index fund lets you buy a tiny piece of hundreds, sometimes thousands of companies all at once. One purchase spread across loads of businesses. In the US, the most famous one tracks something called the S&P 500. That's the 500 biggest companies in America. Apple, Amazon, Google, they're all in there. In the UK, a popular option tracks the FTSE All World, companies from all over the world in one go. If one company has a bad year, it barely affects you because you own a little bit of everything. Guess what? Even Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, says ordinary people should just use simple index funds. If it's good enough for him to recommend, it's good enough for us. Option 2, ETFs. And don't worry about the name. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. Forget the name. All you need to know is that it works almost exactly like an index fund. You buy one thing and it gives you exposure to loads of companies. The difference is just that you buy and sell it during the day, like buying a single share of a company. For a beginner, an ETF and an index fund are basically the same thing. Many ETFs cost between $20 and $80 for one share. So with $100, you could buy one and still have change left over. Option 3, robo-advisors. This is the I want someone to just handle it for me option, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. A robo-advisor is just an app or website that asks you a few questions, like how long you want to invest for and how much risk you're okay with, and then builds a simple investment plan for you and manages it automatically. You put the money in, the app does the rest. In the US, popular ones include Betterment and Wealthfront. In the UK, you have Nutmeg, Wealthify, and Moneyfarm. Most of them let you start with as little as £1 or $1, and they charge small fees, usually less than 1% a year. Option 4, fractional shares. Here's a cool one. Let's say you want to own a piece of Apple, but one full Apple share costs $220. You don't have $220. You only have $100. With fractional shares, you can buy $50 worth of Apple stock. You don't get a full share, but you get half of one, and it grows exactly the same way a full share would. Platforms like Robinhood and Fidelity in the US, and Trading 212 and Free Trade in the UK all let you do this. Your $100 could be split across 5 or 10 different companies if you wanted. So which one is best? For most beginners, a simple index fund or ETF is the place to start. It's low cost, it's spread across loads of companies, and you don't need to watch it every day. Set it up and let it do its thing. Okay, here's a section most people skip, and it's a big mistake to skip it. Because it's not just about what you invest in, it's about where you keep it. And picking the right account can save you a lot of money in taxes down the line. Think of it this way. The investment is the food, the account is the lunchbox, and some lunchboxes are way better than others. If you're in the US, the best starting lunchbox for most people is called a Roth IRA. Here's how it works in plain English. You put money in that you've already paid tax on. It grows inside the account, and when you take it out in retirement, you pay zero tax on any of the profit. None. So if your $100 turns into $1,000 inside a Roth IRA, that extra $900 is all yours. The government doesn't take a cut. You can put up to $7,000 into a Roth IRA in 2025 if you're under 50. That's more than enough for a $100 start. If your job offers something called a 401k and your employer puts in money to match yours, do that first. It's free money from your employer. Always grab free money. If you're in the UK, your equivalent is called a Stocks and Shares ISA. Same idea. You put money in, it grows. When you take it out, no tax on the profit. The government doesn't touch it. You can put up to £20,000 a year into an ISA. That's the total allowance across all your ISAs. So your £100 goes in, grows over the years, and all that growth is yours to keep. There's also something called a SIPP, a pension account. The cool thing about a SIPP is that the government actually adds money for you. If you're a basic rate taxpayer and you put in £80, the government tops it up to £100. That's a free 25% boost on whatever you put in. Not bad, right? Where do you actually open these accounts? In the US, Fidelity, Vanguard, and Charles Schwab are all great options. They're free or very cheap to open, and they have loads of help for beginners. In the UK, Vanguard UK, Trading 212, and Hargreaves Lansdown are all popular. Trading 212 is especially good for beginners because it's free to use and easy to understand. The golden rule, always try to use a tax-friendly account first. Don't give the government more than you have to. Right, you've got $100 or £100. You know what an index fund is. You know which account to use. Now let's actually make a plan. And I promise, this is going to be simpler than you think. Here's the thing about investing. You don't need a complicated strategy. The more complicated you make it, the more likely you are to mess it up or get overwhelmed and give up entirely. The best strategy for a beginner is the one you'll actually stick to. So here's a simple starting plan. Step 1. Open your account. In the US, open a Roth IRA with Fidelity or Vanguard. In the UK, open a Stocks and Shares ISA with Vanguard UK or Trading 212. This takes about 15 minutes. You'll need your ID, maybe your national insurance number in the UK or your social security number in the US. Step 2. Choose one simple fund. In the US, look for a total world stock ETF. Vanguard's is called VT. It holds over 9,000 companies from all over the world. One fund. That's all you need. In the UK, look for the Vanguard FTSE All-World ETF. Ticker VWRL. Same idea. Thousands of companies, one purchase. That's it. One fund. You're not going to buy 10 different things. You're not going to research individual companies. Just one simple fund that spreads your money across the whole world. Step 3. Put your $100 in. Transfer the money. Buy the fund. Done. Seriously, that's it. Now, I know what you're thinking. That feels too simple. Surely there's more to it. There really isn't. Not at this stage. The most important thing right now isn't picking the perfect investment. It's just starting. Once you've started, you can always learn more and adjust, but you can't make up for years you didn't invest. A quick note on splitting your money. If you want to split your $100 across two things, a classic beginner approach is something like this. Put most of it, say $80, in a global stocks fund, and the other $20 in a bonds fund. Bonds are basically loans to governments. They're more boring, more stable, and they go up when stocks go down. Think of bonds as the calm friend who balances out the excitable one. The younger you are, the more you can lean towards stocks because you've got more time to wait out any bad years. The closer you are to needing the money, the more you might want that calmer, stable side. I want to tell you the most important thing in this whole video, and it has nothing to do with picking the right fund or opening the perfect account. It's this: do it every month, even a small amount, every single month. Let me show you why. Imagine two people again, both 25, both starting with $100. Person A puts in $100 once, never adds anything again. Person B puts in $50 every single month. Automatic, no thinking, no checking prices. Just $50 every month for 40 years. By age 65, at an average 8% return per year, Person A has about $21,000. Person B has over $174,000 from $50 a month. That's the power of doing it consistently, not the size of the amount, the consistency. This is called regular investing, or in finance speak, they call it pound cost averaging in the UK and dollar cost averaging in the US. But the fancy name doesn't matter. The idea is simple. You invest the same amount every month no matter what's happening in the news, no matter if prices are up or down, no matter if everyone's panicking. You just keep going. Here's why that works. When prices are low, your $50 buys more. When prices are high, it buys a bit less. Over time, it all balances out, and you end up paying a good average price without having to try to guess when to buy. Nobody can guess when prices are going to go up or down. Not Wall Street experts, not hedge fund managers, not your mate who thinks he knows everything about stocks. Nobody. So don't try. Just invest regularly and ignore the noise. Now, here's the practical bit. Set up an automatic transfer. Pick a day, maybe the day after payday. Set up a standing order or automatic transfer from your bank account to your investment account. Even if it's just $25 or £25 a month, make it automatic so you don't have to think about it. And then, and this is really important, try not to look at it every day. When your investments go down, and they will at some point, that's just normal, it feels scary. Your instinct will be to pull your money out before it gets worse.
Trust me, almost everyone feels that way the first time. But here's the truth. Every crash in history has been followed by a recovery. Every single one. The people who pulled out during the crash locked in their losses. The people who stayed put came out fine. Many of them made more money. So, set it up. Keep going. And when it gets scary, just remember person B. Okay, now let me save you from some of the most common mistakes beginners make. These are things I wish someone had told me earlier. Mistake 1. Waiting until you have enough money. There is no enough. I know people who have been waiting until they have $500, then $1,000, then the right time, then the right moment. Years pass. Waiting is expensive. $100 today is worth more than $1,000 in 10 years when it comes to investing because of how long it has to grow. Start now with what you have. Mistake 2. Putting all your money in one company. Imagine you put your entire $100 into a single company's shares, maybe a business you love. Then they have a bad year, or a scandal, or a new competitor comes along. Your $100 could become $40. Ouch. That's why spreading your money across hundreds of companies through an index fund is so much safer for beginners. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Seriously, it's a cliche because it's true. Mistake 3. Ignoring the fees. Here's something sneaky that catches a lot of people out. Every investment account and fund charges a small fee each year. Most good index funds charge around 0.2% per year. That sounds tiny. But some funds charge 1% or even 1.5%. That sounds tiny too. But over 20 years on a growing investment, that extra 1% difference could cost you thousands, literally thousands of pounds or dollars. Always check the fee before you invest. Look for something called the annual fee or expense ratio. Keep it under 0.5% if you can. Under 0.25% is even better. Mistake 4. Panicking and selling when prices drop. Markets go up, markets go down. That is completely normal. It always has been. In 2020, when COVID hit, the US stock market dropped about 34% in 5 weeks. Terrifying, right? But by the end of that same year, it had fully recovered and gone even higher. The people who sold in a panic locked in a loss. The people who stayed calm or even bought more made money. When things get scary, do your best to take a breath and remember, you're investing for the long run. Short-term drops don't matter if you're not planning to sell for 20 years. Mistake 5. Not using the tax-free accounts. We talked about this earlier. In the US, using a Roth IRA means your profits are tax-free. In the UK, using a stocks and shares ISA means the same thing. Not using these accounts is one of the most common and most costly mistakes beginners make. The tax man doesn't need your money. Keep as much of your growth as you legally can. All right, so that's your complete beginner's guide to investing your first $100 or 100 pounds. You've got the what, the where, the how, and the common traps to avoid. The only thing left is to actually do it. And I know it can still feel a bit scary. That's totally normal. Everyone feels that way at first, but the hardest part is just getting started. Once you've made that first investment, you'll wonder why you waited so long. Now I want to ask you one simple question, and I'd love it if you answered in the comments below. What's the one thing that's been stopping you from investing? Maybe it's not knowing where to start, maybe it feels too risky, maybe you just don't think you have enough money. Whatever it is, drop it below. I read every single comment, and you might find that you're not the only one who feels that way. If this video helped you even a little bit, please give it a like. It really does help more people find this content. And if you want to keep learning, hit subscribe and the notification bell. I put out a new video every week, all in plain, simple language like this. Next up, I'm covering how to build a $10,000 emergency fund step by step, even on a small income. If you don't have that safety net yet, that's the video to watch next. It's right there at the end of this video. Thanks so much for watching. Seriously, it means a lot. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time. New videos every week. No complicated jargon, just real, practical money advice in plain English. See you in the next one.
Hey, just a quick reminder, everything in this video is just for learning. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I said was personal financial advice. Everyone's situation is different. Before you make any big money decisions, please speak to a qualified professional who can look at your specific situation. Take care of yourself and invest wisely.